If you thought that I was gonna fling myself onto the couch like Chantal Beauty, that's not happening. Good morning. I have not filmed a full-length video, a full-form video, long-form video in almost a year. I did film a life update on December 11th, 2025. I had bright pink, bright blue hair, and it was going to go live on January 1st, and that's when I was going to restart everything. Nope, didn't happen. It is members only, so if you do want to go look at it, if you want to be a member of the channel, then you can go look at it. But here I am, again, with another attempt at coming back to YouTube. Still hot. A lot has happened in the last year, but I figure I'm in San Francisco right now. I just finished a job with Google, and what better way to say hello than from here. As you know, or you may not know, last February 28th, 2025, Simon died. My little soul cat, and many of you knew him because he was always screaming his head off, whether it was on here or on Twitch. He was known for being the cat that would never stop screaming his head off, and everyone loved him, including me. And his stage 2 kidney disease took a turn for the worst 1 week in February, and I made the decision to, with the help of my vet and also bringing a hearing friend with me to an appointment just in case, to make sure more than one person understood what was going on, even though I trust my vet and I understand her very well. But during that time, I just needed people that weren't just me. And it's been over a year, and now I still feel a lot of guilt. I still feel a lot of what if. And things have not really been the same for me since then. And other side jobs that I've taken that I can't say on here, but if you put two and two together, also took a hit because of that. Because how can you get in any mood to do anything like that after that? However, the good news was, about a month after that, I got a job with a nonprofit that paid my rent every single month and was really going to add on to what I had left in my bank account from the Google and the Samsung projects that were able to finally help me get out of that abusive 3-decade-long home. So I also felt like, okay, I never make my money off YouTube. I make like $2 a video, and those videos take at least 2 to 3 days of work. So when I finally had a job that actually paid me, I was concentrating more on that because I knew I would get paid. I knew my work would be compensated. So I just focused on that. And I didn't have to worry about any other side jobs anymore because I felt comfortable with that. Anyway, that's been cut 50%. So if somebody wants to hire me for projects, that'd be great, because now I can't pay rent with that job anymore. I can't pay rent and my car payment and bills with that job anymore. So I still have it. It's just been cut in half. And that's a lot. So I've been struggling with that. That made it so that I was stressed, and so it's kind of, my dad's been diagnosed with dementia. And if you know, I do not have a great relationship with my family. Again, I talked about the 3 decades long of abuse in the childhood home, and for the people that are always like, well, why didn't you leave? Ableism in society makes it very, very difficult for people to get a job, and no amount of money that I had before those 2 big projects were enough for people to say, hey, we will take you in, or we will accept your application. Anyway, now when I left North Carolina to move to Nebraska, I did not fully cut off communication. 1, because there were still things I needed to get sent to me. 2, because I occasionally was getting birthday or Christmas money, and hey, I'll take your money. And now my relationship with my mother has always been bad because she was the main perpetrator. She was the one that was actually physically, emotionally, verbally, and mentally doing these things. Whereas my dad was more, I guess maybe complicit is the word. Like, he didn't actively support it. Of course, he always hated it, and he would tell my mom to stop doing that. But with him always having been on the road, and yeah, well, even when he was home, it was just like, well, it is what it is, I guess. So, and it took me a very long time to realize that, yeah, that's also very messed up. And that's a whole thing that I've been wanting to talk about from start to finish also writing a book. So eventually I want that day to come. The first like 6 months prior to his diagnosis last year, you know, I found out that he was starting to show signs of Alzheimer's, and so he was on leave, I guess, at work. He was having to go to appointments, and his last appointment, I thought he was cleared. My mother told me that he was cleared. Don't trust anything that she says. She doesn't understand most of what's going on. So I thought everything was cleared, and then I come to find out one day during the summer, I literally was standing in line for a friend's concert, his show. So I got that text message that said that my dad had been let go. He was fired, and I'm like, what the heck? So that was stress. August, I want to say, I started getting voicemails and text messages. Well, first I got a call. I don't think I got a voicemail yet, but I googled the phone number and it said Adult Protective Services, and I thought that was very strange. Beginning to wonder if my mother called somebody on me for some reason. Wouldn't put it past her. But I didn't say anything. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Because the most communication that I want is strictly just, how's the cat? Here's a picture of cat. Or can I send you money? Okay, cool. There, you can send me money there. Great. Then they call me again. APS calls me again and says, hello, this is a phone call about your father. Please call us back, blah, blah, blah. So I get told that he has dementia, and I think his work called him because apparently no tests were cleared, and he also missed his last appointment. And I remember my dad called me about that, and he's like, oh, I was late because I couldn't find where I was going. I was lost. To which I was like, you have a phone. You have a GPS. You use it. What do you mean you were late? Or also he was late because of construction, maybe, I don't know. And then the doctor said that they wouldn't let him in. So I don't know what's, you know, I wasn't there. But anyway, so that happened. And then I got a phone call. I don't know if it was the same phone call or sometime after that. The lawyer asked me if I wanted to take guardianship. Really, that was the first time I heard that word, and I thought, I don't think this is something that I want. Because also, one, you mean to tell me, would that mean that I would have to go back to North Carolina? I was doing everything that I could to not. I even took on a side job that I never woke up thinking that I really wanted to do, but if it was that versus homelessness, I knew which one I was going to take. Even though it would risk my entire career of my life going forward. I would have to do anything that I could, as long as it was legal, to not have to go back and deal with that again. Not when I was finally starting to have a life, you know. So we were talking about that, because obviously my mother already said, no, I'm not going to do that. She said, yeah, I wanted your father to be home again, but now I don't want him to be home again, and no. Okay. So I already knew that wasn't going to happen. And I guess my uncle, his brother, didn't want to let him in, I guess. But I also know that my dad was like, I don't want to go back to California, blah, blah, blah. So then the only other option left was the state taking over. And to be honest, that was going to be the best decision. There was no way I was going to be able to handle anything. I was stressed just trying to take care of myself. I was stressed knowing about if I was going to be able to keep my home, if I was going to be able to pay my bills, and I'm stressing about that now. So that's a fun time. All my friends were telling me, don't. You finally got out of that, and you've only been out for 3 years. You finally have something started, and now you would just be going backwards. And you spent your entire life being the parent. You don't need to go back to that. Like, they were not parents to you. So, court happened. I didn't go. I didn't have to go. But it was declared that he was unfit to be able to take care of himself, and the state is his guardian now. And really, I don't know what all that entails, except for I guess they come over almost every single day, if not every single day. And I very occasionally get text messages from my mother that say, I hate this, I hate that. She even asked me if I would help her get out, and I guess let her move in with me. No. And before you ask, well, why can't she do X, Y, Z? She can't get benefits. She's not a citizen. She's a resident, but she's not a citizen, so that's a fun time to deal with. That's a fun thing. I've been trying to work out what to do, or how to deal with that, what to do with that, to the point where sometimes I think about changing my number. Like, should I change my number? Should I cut off completely? And then I feel guilty about that. And then everybody else tells me, do not feel guilty about that because you spent 30 years with one parent abusing you, and then the other one just not really doing anything to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. And I think people who can relate from having that experience growing up can probably relate to this kind of thing. I know for some people it's easier to just be like, bye. And in some ways it is easier for me because I really don't text them anymore. Oh, so that's been pretty rough. That's been very stressful because I always think about, okay, what happens when the inevitable happens? Then what happens? Because I don't know what happens with the other parent. Are they gonna keep trying to suck me back into that? And I don't know. If anybody can relate, you can leave a comment down below. I've been wanting to do a whole separate video on that too, but I can't. My brain doesn't even know what's happening. So there's that. And then cue me being stressed about the one job getting cut, another one's been on pause. I don't even know what's going to happen with that one anymore. And so struggling to figure out where more money is going to come in. And I've been applying some interviews and nothing really. And when I finally would try to sit down and make a video, because I was talking about this at the panel yesterday at Google for YouTube. We were talking about monetization, and I told them I really don't make money from YouTube. Like when I get my 1099s, there's like $1,000 in there for the whole year, which is not, it is a lot, but it's not, I get to pay my bills with this a lot, you know? So there was that. But I use YouTube as a way to hopefully get the attention of other companies in hopes that something bigger can happen, which is what happened with Samsung and Google in those two big projects, and then opportunities like this. And I might have another email before I have even checked out of my hotel room about something. That is very nice, but I know that maybe hopefully I can get back into this again, because the one thing that has been a bummer is we also talked about this in another project that I did, me and other disabled creators, where it feels like disabled creators are very shadow banned, videos don't go out, and I know not being consistent with the algorithm does not help, but the last couple of years it has not been great. So that's been a struggle. But also I am so close to 100K. I had that one viral short and it got me so close again to 100K, and it keeps doing this, and I'm like, I'm so close. Like, I kind of gave up on the idea of ever being able to hit the 100K and get the plaque. But now that I'm so close again, I'm like, if I could just make this happen, because it's been 10 years, I'll be happy. Let's see what we can do with that, I guess. Other than that, those are the three big things. Cats. Well, speaking of cats, Zane has stage 3 kidney disease. So that's been something I'm not super excited about. He's been losing weight steadily. It's been rough. Like, Simon was my soul cat, I know that. Like, Simon and I had a relationship that I've not had with any other cat, but Zane I've had since he was 4 months old, when he was a tiny little baby. And I still remember a photo of him in my brain, but I don't have access to the actual photo anymore. But it's rough to think about, oh, I've had this cat for 4 months, or since he was 4 months old. I had Simon for 4 years, and I've had Zane since he was 4 months old. He'll be 15 this year. It's so rough. Like, I miss Simon very much still. It's gotten a little bit easier, you know, but there's still times where, like, I thought I was gonna cry over my dad, but I'm crying over my cats. This is why I'm glad I didn't put makeup on like I originally planned. I have time. No, because this might happen. And I don't get home until like 12:30 in the morning, so I don't want to deal with that. So what's the plan now? I want to try to pre-film as much as possible so that I can keep on being consistent. I want to try to upgrade videos a little bit and try to do something different. I do have a new mic. I have a series on Accessibility 101 coming up. It's still in my brain. It's kind of being written down right now. Just the basics: captioning, transcripts, voiceovers, that type of stuff. I had this idea for the election for this year in Nebraska, trying to get the people who are running in the primary to be accessible, and now the general election because the primary is over. So that may or may not be a series separate from like regular stuff, because I kind of want that out as soon as possible. So maybe 2 or 3 times a week uploads, at least until that series is done, being uploaded because I don't want to upload it all at once. But at the same time, no, that's a good business move. Here's one video so far. If you want the rest, here's my rate. Hey, I offered my work for free. They didn't want to take it, so now you can pay me for it. But that's a whole different thing. If you see my YouTube shorts, which I have been consistent for the most part on, you know all about it. But yeah, so this will be the first video up. I'm not sure when it's going to go up. Maybe June 1st. So that gives me some time to upload and edit and film some stuff. And then I already filmed another video before I did this one, just in case I cried. And I have a whole list. I just need to do it. So I guess, hi, hello. This is me hopefully coming back for good. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Some calls to action. Please like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment again, tell me how you are, what have you been up to. Share this video. I also have a membership thing, so going back to hopefully the one video a month at least. You can see that other update. I have a Patreon. There's definitely stuff on Patreon. I have a new website. There's just little things here and there that I've been trying to slowly build up to try to get things going again. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I had somebody yesterday tell me that they've been watching me since I did makeup on YouTube, and that was wild. It's crazy to think that I've been here for so long. The other panelist that I was with has also been on YouTube since like 2010, and we were like, wow, things have changed so much on here. And hopefully things here will too, but for the better. But until then, I need to go pack a little bit. I gotta check out in 2 hours. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do because my flight isn't until 7. Will they let me in the airport? I think it's only if you have a checked bag that you have to wait for a little bit, 4 hours minimum to your flight or whatever. But I have a carry-on. I think it'll be fine. Alright. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. There is a plane. Do not come for this hotel. Okay, bye.